So the Miami Heat have taken a 2-0 series lead over the Boston Celtics. Who saw this coming? Nobody. Maybe you thought Miami would take game one. I didn't see anybody predict the Miami Heat to win game two. I mean, wow, what a game, first of all. So in the first quarter, Jason Tatum comes out extremely aggressive, scores 12 points, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, here we go. He's going to get it going. Derek White starts off really hot, starts 3 of 4 from 3. Malcolm Brogdon starts off really aggressive, shooting the ball really well. And between those three guys, you're just kind of like, all right, Boston's locked in. They are fully engaged this game, and there's no way that they're going to lose if they continue to play at this level. And they just didn't continue to play at that level. What a game. What a game from Miami, because from the end of the first quarter through the start of the second quarter, Boston goes on the really large run. They go up 40-28, and it seemed like the game could have gotten out of hand really quickly. And as Miami does, they fight and they crawl back into it, right? They respond with a run of their own, and they retake the lead in the second quarter, 47-42, with about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. And a large part of that is because, as in every single Miami Heat win in the playoffs, a random role player shows up and decides to play really well. In this game, it was Caleb Martin. He gets the Miami Heat Role Player of the Game award. This award is given to the random role player for the Miami Heat who goes off in a win, because it happens every single time. He was the guy tonight, 25 points, 11 of 16 from the field, super efficient. Just all in all, he was extremely impressive, defended well because he plays for Miami, and everybody from Miami defends well. It was really just quite the performance from him off the bench. You pair that, Morton's outstanding second quarter with an awful quarter from Jason Tatum. He scores 2 points, and where was Jaylen Brown this game? I didn't feel like he was really present at all. He took 23 shots. It didn't feel like that. You never really felt his presence. I think he had a 3 and then had a dunk in either the second or third quarter, but outside of that, you never really felt him. It didn't seem like he was really even there. Finished the night with 16 points, and that's unacceptable if you're going to be the number 2 on this Boston Celtics team and you're going to go into the offseason and demand a max contract. You got to show up in games like this if you want that kind of money, and he very simply did not. And I think with the first big turn in the game, Miami went to a zone. Boston goes up 40-28. Miami's like, you know what? We're going to go to this zone. And by the time Boston figured it out, Miami retook the lead, 47-42. And then third quarter starts, and it feels just like the second quarter. Boston comes out, high intensity. The defense, they are up. They're in people's grills. They're forcing turnovers. They speed up the pace of the game. They retake the lead. They're up 61-60. And like, okay, this is where Boston's really going to kind of put their foot on Miami's throat and take off here. This is where it happens, right? No, it's not what happens, right? Tatum scores 10 points in the first 6.5 minutes of the quarter of the third quarter. Boston then goes on another 10-0 run to go up by 11. They're up 79-68 with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left. And it's like, okay, here it is. At the end of the third quarter, Miami cuts into the lead a little bit. Boston's up by 83-75. And it's like, okay, this is it. Tatum's, he scores 15 points in the third quarter. He's going to stay aggressive. Boston's going to win this game by 10, 12. And, it's going to be 1-1 heading back to Miami. And that doesn't happen. Miami comes out in the fourth quarter. Duncan Robinson hits 2 threes really early, cuts it down 91-87. And then Jason Tatum goes out. And at this point, Jason Tatum hadn't scored, and I think Jaylen Brown had made 1 free throw. Right? So the 2 best offensive players for Boston haven't played well up until that point. And it doesn't matter, though, right? Tatum goes out. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, here's where it's going to turn. Here comes Miami. It's not what happens. Boston actually builds a lead. They go up 96-85 to 87. It's like, man, they built the lead with Tatum out of the game. He's going to get subbed back in. He's going to get going. Ball game. Boston's going to win by like 10, 12, 14 points, 1-1 going back to Miami. No. At 6 minutes and 22 seconds left, the biggest event of the game happens. It's where the entire thing turned. This game went from Boston's going to take it, very relaxed, not a big deal, this is kind of what we expected, to here comes Miami. Because Grant Williams wanted to talk trash to arguably the baddest man in the playoffs, Jimmy Butler. It's him or Jokic right now. Those two guys have just been insane. Grant Williams, forehead to forehead, Jimmy Butler. They're jawing, double techs, and Jimmy Butler steps to the line, knocks down the and one free throw, 96-90. And then it is all ball. It's all Miami after that. Okay, they go on a 10-4 run to tie it up, 100-100. Guess who made the game-tying shot? Jimmy Butler on the baseline over Grant Williams. And then Boston comes down. Miami goes back to the zone about the last 4 minutes of the game. It's like Boston completely forgot what they were doing on offense. They don't remember how to do anything against that zone that they had figured out in the first half. And Miami starts getting stops, forcing turnovers. Boston starts to really struggle again. Next possession, Jimmy Butler, pull-up jump shot, boom, 102-100. Miami takes the lead, and they don't look back. And you could just see Jason Tatum really trying to get going. He's attacking the rim. He ends up getting fouled late in the third quarter from beyond the arc. And that's when they scored again. They didn't score for like 4 minutes. I mean, it was just insane. I mean, I can't believe Miami won this basketball game. It feels like they absolutely stole it from Boston. That's what it feels like, but I don't think that's necessarily what happened. The defense in the fourth quarter, Jason Tatum, once again, doesn't make a field goal in the fourth quarter, and Brown hit a mid-range jump shot, and that was it. Brown and Tatum shoot 1 of 8 from the field in the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum only scores points from the free throw line. They combine for only 12 points in the fourth quarter. That's unacceptable. Meanwhile, Butler goes 4 for 8 and scores 9 points. All 9 of those points being huge. And just another close game down the stretch that Boston blows the lead on. And part of it, Mazzulla's going to get a lot of the blame. And, partially so. Like, you can't blow leads late. Part of that does fall on you. But at the same time, this is a players' league, and players win games. Jason Tatum can't go 0 for 4 from the field in the fourth quarter. Okay, and Jaylen Brown can't go 1 for 4 from the field in the fourth quarter, and they can't turn the ball over multiple times. Like, it's a 2-3 zone. Okay, you learn how to play it in middle school. You learn how to play a 2-3 zone in middle school, and you can't crack it. I just really disappointing because you expected so much from this Miami team. I did, at least. And now they're down 2-0, going to Miami. Game 3 is a must-win, and I don't think they're going to win it. I think Miami's going to step on their throat. They're going to go up 3-0. Miami may sweep them, which is the last thing that anybody thought was going to happen in this series. And, it speaks to the coach that Eric Spoelstra is, and it speaks to the player that Jimmy Butler is, and it speaks just to the attention to detail that Miami has, because they do all the little things, okay? The rotations by Bam Adebayo in the zone were awesome. The way that they played the passing lanes was impressive across the board. And Coach Spo just has a way of getting guys the ball in the correct spot at the correct time. And it's incredible to watch. Miami's going to play for an NBA championship. Nobody would have guessed this. Nobody would have guessed this. It's rather impressive. You have to tip your cap to Jimmy Butler and these guys for playing at the level that they're playing at. Then again, series isn't over yet. We've seen crazier things happen. Okay, Boston goes in. Let's say, they win game 3. They figure out how to win game 4. 2-2 coming back to Boston. Will that happen? Probably not, but crazier things have happened. So Miami goes up 2-0. I still can't believe it. Jeez. That's going to do it here for this video. Make sure you drop a like, comment below how disappointed you are in the Boston Celtics if you're a Celtics fan, and how excited and surprised you are if you're a Miami Heat fan. I would like to know. So, yeah, and then subscribe. breaking down every game in both the Western and Eastern Conference Finals. So subscribe if you want more of this content. Thanks again for watching the video, and I'll talk to y'all again tomorrow.